Boys and girls, welcome to my channel, I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what I do have in here it is Journey to the Savage Planet. So this game it is developed by a new studio called Typhoon Studios, which contains people from Ubisoft. Yes, developers of Far Cry 4 were inside and they are inside this game. EA Games and also Warner Bros. Actually, this studio it was recently bought by Google, so I'm probably expecting this game to be available on Stadia. But I believe we don't care about that at the moment because we are here to test my HD 7850 and see how it performs with a Ryzen 5 3600 and 16 gigs of RAM. And as far as you can see, the performance it is going pretty well by looking at MSI Afterburner. But yeah, the scenario it isn't really only snow and this clean environment. You will have packed jungle moments, which makes the game much more demanding. And so I'm going to show you the settings that I do prefer to play this game. So I'm playing with median settings and TV set to TAA and 1080p. But like the usual, let me just start with the requirements. These guys ask for an AMD Radeon HD 7950. This is a considerably much more powerful graphic card than what I have in here. But yeah, it's completely fake news because despite the minimums are way and above and beyond than what I have in here, I'm able to play at median settings just fine, averaging 56 frames per second with a 1% low of 41. If you want a more proximate frame rate to the 60 frames per second at 1080p, you can use low settings and you will have an average of 78 frames per second with a 1% low of 56. But if you decide to go with the high settings, you can expect an average of 39 frames per second, but unfortunately in more dense areas, you can expect a frame rate to go under 30 frames per second quite often. So I don't really recommend you to go with the high settings unless you kind of tweak and create your own custom setting with probably settings between median and high. But yeah, I'm probably just going to stay with median settings because it performs just fine. The frame rate it is pretty much between 40 to 60, which makes the game much more playable since it's a first-person shooter game. And well, that's pretty much that. The low settings it is a huge downgrade. You pretty much don't get any foliage at all, and you can't even see the shadows. The median settings you notice a big upgrade on some of the effects and lighting like bloom. You start to notice some simple cube map reflections. You notice a much better shadow quality, and above all the foliage in more dense areas they are very good comparing to the low settings, which yeah, it might look that they aren't really there at low settings. And the high settings, there are some obvious upgrades. You get screen space reflections, which is pretty good, much better lighting quality and much better shadows. But like I said, the high settings, the game often drops from 30 frames per second to something lower, and that's why I decided to go with median settings. Also saw some videos from PlayStation 4, and it feels like PlayStation 4 it is running also at median settings, which is quite surprising because I was really expecting PlayStation 4 to be running at equivalent high settings, but no, they are playing at what it seems to be the median settings of the PC version also. As for the game itself, I don't have too much to talk about it because I didn't play it enough, but I've seen some reviews where they claim that you will be exploring a lot of the game. You have a ship that kind of crashed into these planets, and you came to this planet to investigate the life of the planet, the alien life, and this is pretty much what you will be doing for most of the game. You'll be investigating life in here, finding stuff for you to craft and evolve your ship, or I mean evolve your characters with double jump, jetpacks, better weapons. And actually there are boss fights against some of the aliens that you will find in here, which is rather interesting. But I mean that the combat system it is not really its strongest point. I believe it's really the exploration and some of the puzzles. Some areas are inaccessible for you at the beginning until you get, for example, some upgrades which allows you to jump further, like a Metrovania style, which makes it very interesting. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's a very good average game, average to good game. It depends on how you enjoy this type of games or not. But the game is not really expensive. It costs $29.99 on Epic Store. This is a downside since it is an Epic Store exclusive. So many people won't be really interested in the game. But I mean, $29.99 if you really enjoy these type of games, I believe it is pretty good. All right, but always jump first into a review website that you like, and always watch first the review before buying this game, because this might not be for you. All right, it is pretty much like it, but as the performance goes, the game performs really well at medium settings and also looks pretty good. All right, guys, so that's all that I want to talk about Journey to the Savage Planets. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Exactly like a normal squid, except for its aerial properties and size and everything about it. Oh, it's got a sniffle. The other resources required to craft the boost pack, you'll be capable of limited flight. A bit like a chicken, but with more pollution.
Mall Monkey's Micro Mills Plaza, the ultimate Earth life simulator. Create tiny human life forms by just adding sub-zero radioactive water to a micro life powder packet and see your mall's inhabitants grow in just minutes. Watch them stroll. Friday extends more shoppers into a